Hi, it's Chris and Susan, and we are standing in one of our favourite places. We live just outside London in Biggin Hill in Kent, and Kent is talked about as being the Garden of England, and it really and truly is, because we're very privileged to live here. But it's a beautiful sunny day, crisp and very, very cold. But I can't believe just a few weeks ago we were in Las Vegas sitting outside having lunch, and here we are back at home. You know, having a home-based business for us is something very, very special, because it means we can take it with us, doesn't it, Chris?
Oh, it certainly does, and that's exactly what we did when we went to Vegas. But what I want to say to you is, home-based business, I guess traditionally, because it wasn't used by mainstream corporate companies, that it was very much potentially frowned upon. But today that's not the case. Today there are many international and huge, very well-known companies having people work from home. In fact, our daughter, she works for a very well-known company. She works at least one day a week, and our son, he works at least, I think, one, maybe 2 days a week. And he was actually telling me that they've just moved into a new office. And they've downsized, and he said if everybody turned up at the office, there's actually not enough desks for people to sit on. So, the thing about home-based business is it's very much a very different animal today than it was many years ago. And I think a lot of that is due to technology. They refer to this thing called cloud technology, so you can literally work from anywhere. It really doesn't matter, and connect to your systems and your programs and all that. And that's particularly true of an online business, because when we got started 6 years ago, it was very much hands-on, do-it-yourself. Things like building websites and that, and I got first-hand experience of this, were done by installing software on your computer and then doing it from there. Whereas today it's all online, but there's so many tools and resources and automation that's available to you. It makes it so much more simple and easy to do.
And that's the point, because it is simple and easy to do. So often people look at home-based businesses, and in particular, in our experience, online home-based businesses, and because there are what I would call less than reputable marketers out there talking about their particular systems, or writing scam reviews about online home businesses, etc. People are very skeptical and very wary. But like Chris has said, this is the future. Home-based businesses are the future for employees as well as for entrepreneurs like Chris and myself. And we can only see that growing bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go by. So we want you to take a really serious look at this and see if it's something that could work for you, and understand right from the get-go, which is something we think is really important, that if you do this, do your research, your due diligence, as we say as accountants, but understand that whatever you do, it's going to be a business. If you want to have a good income from it, like Chris and I, we have a multiple six-figure income from our home-based business, that you have to learn some new skills. You have to invest in your education, invest in your business, just like you would if it was a bricks and mortar business. You have to do that. And if you're not willing to do that, then maybe this is not the right time for you to look at a home-based business.
No, I think the other thing is, you have to look at entrepreneurship nowadays as a huge shift in, if you like, the economy, the way the world runs. Because if I go back to 1985, when I started my first business, the internet didn't exist. And we struggled to connect computers together and networks and all that sort of thing, because we were only a small business. But now entrepreneurship, to me, is very much like the Industrial Revolution. You have to think of it like the Industrial Revolution, because it has changed the world so much. We have a global business. Susan and I, we work from home, but we travel around the world as well. But we have a global customer base. Can you believe that? When I started my first business in 1985, the only customers I had were in London. Why? because my company was based in London and the service I offered was based in London. I couldn't have worldwide customers, but today I can. And that's the thing, the world has changed so much that you have to understand that working online, working from home, is going to be the future, and it's the future that's here now. Because the thing is that, and I'm waffling a bit here, but bear with me a minute, because there is an important point to come out at the end of this. The thing is that because everything is changing, you are going to have to find a new way to generate income, because you're going to have to find that you have to control your own destiny, your own income source, control your own, I can't think of the word,
economy.
Economy, that's the word I'm looking for. Control your own economy, because if you don't, you can't rely on other people, your government. You're not going to get a pension anymore. You know, I can just to give you a little quote. I was reading on the history of pensions the other day, and apparently the very first pension, certainly in the UK, was about 1908. And in 1908, the average life expectancy was 47 years old.
Gosh, that's scary.
That's very scary. But the government were prepared to pay you a pension from age 70. So was that pension ever going to get paid?
No.
So the thing is that today we're in probably a very similar situation, but you've got the opportunity now to take control of it.
And it's funny, Chris, because you mentioned that, and I don't want to make this video too long, but I was reading an article just the other day, and I was chatting to you about it last night. And this article particularly related to the USA market, and this guy who had made various predictions throughout his entrepreneurial life, including things that everyone said wouldn't happen, like the crash of the Japanese market, the subprime crash that brought about the major worldwide recession in 2008. And he's actually predicting that within the next 10 years, particularly in the United States, people are going to be receiving their paychecks from their jobs, and they're going to go to the cash machine, the ATM machine, to draw out their money for their living expenses, to find they can't do it because there's not enough real currency circulating in their country. Now, this is not all doom and gloom, but these people have done a lot of research and they know what they're talking about. And really and truly, we believe that if you start to control your own economy now, whatever your age, but especially if you're in your 40s, 50s and 60s, you need to be seriously thinking about that. So what we've done, we've put together an article. You're going to find the link to that somewhere around this video. And we want you to go and read it, because we've given you the good, the bad and the ugly of running a home-based business, so that you can make that decision for yourself, knowing all of the facts at your disposal. So, you know, thank you so much for watching this video. We just had a couple of horses riding by.
We're going to go off and have lunch now before my arm falls off because I'm holding the camera.
So thank you. Take care, guys. Bye.